Hey guys, welcome back to Giving Unbothered, the podcast. Today's episode is part 2 and the final part to the episode we filmed with our guests Aaron and Ryan. We dive straight into the episode, but we touch on a couple of very important topics, such as dealing with and navigating homophobia. Aaron and Ryan share a personal experience that happened to them very early on in their relationship and the impact it had on their relationship. Then we also talk about the importance of pride, traveling as a queer person, and Aaron and Ryan share some tips and tricks on what they do to maintain healthy communication in their marriage. We hope you enjoyed this episode and enjoyed listening. Last time when you were over for dinner,
Mardi
you
Gras.
guys,
Uber.
the Uber, yeah.
Oh, the Uber.
We want to get into the Uber.
We need to get the Uber, sorry. Because I think like this is such an important topic because I feel like a lot of people who are queer getting into an Uber feel so self-conscious of like PDA or like even holding hands or like,
Totally.
you know, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Shoot.
give us the story for the listeners.
I'll let you begin.
Well, I guess we just talked about when we met on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It was that following Sunday was Beresford after Fair Day, which is the launch of Mardi Gras. So then Mardi Gras was 2 weeks after that. And Aaron and I had been seeing each other for a few weeks at this point, and we had been out to celebrate Mardi Gras. The next day, we were getting an Uber from my house back to Aaron's house in the afternoon to go meet some friends because we had another event that night. And so we booked the Uber and we were sitting in the back seat and we were like, pride is exhausting. Like,
It's so,
really bad.
really exhausting. Yeah.
It's fun. It's
Fun.
so fun, but it is like nonstop.
Tight.
Go.
Yeah.
So in the back seat of the car, I put my head on Aaron's shoulder in the back seat of the Uber, and Aaron gave me a kiss on the forehead, just like, you know, we're gonna get
Sweet.
to it. Last night at 5.
We'll survive. We sat in the like literally is.
And the Uber driver said to us, "Not in my car. Get out. I won't have it in my car," and started pulling over on the motorway in Sydney. And instinctively, I started recording the
Which
incident.
is good. I
Yeah.
think that's incredible. You recorded it.
Because when he first said it, I think you were like, "Excuse me, what? Like what?" Because when you're confronted with something like that in the moment,
You don't
just
expect it.
yeah, and you're very unprepared. I just instinctively knew this isn't going to be a good situation, so I want to make sure we have it on camera.
Yeah.
And he insisted that he wouldn't no longer take us in his car, and he wouldn't have that in his car. So he pulled over on the
We were kind of confused as to
So what we had done.
Yeah.
at first. I was like, "What? Have we like accidentally hurt you? Have we
Yeah, like,
thrown
what?
something out of the
Done
window? Like what? What?"
And he wouldn't elaborate any further. He just stopped talking, and then he just, when he pulled over, he just said, "Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
And he said, "I'm not driving that."
I'm not driving that."
That's-
Yeah.
He referred to
And
Wow.
that's all on camera. It's all on.
Which
on
is
the-
when
yeah.
he said that, we knew,
Oh, that's
Homophobe.
what he meant.
yeah.
And
That's
this was the weekend of Mardi Gras in Sydney City, and he pulled over on the highway. We got out of the car, and we were both, I think, taken aback by it.
Just a bit shocked.
Yeah, and I posted the video on my Facebook, not on my Instagram at the time. I posted it on Facebook, and we got all comments from our friends and family, like mortified over it. And then a few of them had asked, "Can you make it public so we can share it? Because this is horrible."
yeah.
Once we did that, it blew up.
Yeah, just really quickly.
Like
As it should.
suddenly there was 10,000 views on the video, then there was 20,000 views on so it got a lot of attention, and then all these people from the public started commenting, tagging Uber in it about this discrimination and these horrible things. Next minute, we're getting calls from and messages and emails from different media publications
Wow.
wanting us to do interviews. We got offered to go on the breakfast news for Channel 9.
How was that?
We didn't.
We did not.
not do that.
No.
Why didn't you do that?
I mean, yes, it is a big thing, and it was quite hurtful and shocking. But at the end of the day, I didn't think it warranted anything larger, and I didn't want us to be involved in some big.
There is some context. Before we got offered for the breakfast news, you did an interview with Channel 9 News, just on their
Just on the phone.
website, over the phone, before we got offered the breakfast news. And that interview that he did about our situation caused so much backlash.
Really?
People started messaging my mum, like on Facebook, and posting my sister, and my sister was getting into arguments with people online, and they were messaging us. I got messages saying, we hope we die. You
Wait, what?
Like death threats.
Why was a backlash?
AIDS fuckers, dirty, you deserve it. We got called so many different names.
Just
after
because
this.
of your sexuality.
Yes, and then after that backlash started coming, that's when we got asked to go on the breakfast show,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want any give.
Oh, safety.
Yeah, I don't want any more
No, I get
airtime for
that.
this now. Like, this is enough.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enough. But then after a week of harassment from different people, I then did a article because I wanted nothing to do with the first one because I was like, didn't want the attention,
Yeah.
which probably wasn't the right view to have because I think there's a lot to learn from it.
Yeah.
So I did an article with, it might have even been the Daily Mail, I think.
Well, it must have been the Daily Mail.
And the article was about the backlash that we received after speaking up about the discrimination. And I think from that, there wasn't a lot of backlash that came after that because we just tried to tell our story, or you tried to tell our story after being kicked out of the Uber. And then we got a bit of hate. And then when I said, actually, the hate that we got from telling the story is worse than the actual incident ourselves, because now suddenly all these people in the public are commenting when they don't even know the context of the story. They weren't there. And that's what I found more triggering in the situation, because that like hit the hornet's nest really hard.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder about certain articles or news stories that people are in, and once you're in one that was not very, like in the grand scheme of things, it's not very big.
Yeah.
It's not super world or life changing. Yes, it's shocking, and you don't want that to happen to you, but it's not at the end of the day that bad.
Yeah.
But then you get all of this backlash from it, and you get all of these negative comments and hate, and people are reaching out to your family members and telling them to die, and how did you raise such monsters and stuff like that? And you go, what the fuck?
It's crazy how like people online, obviously it's like keyboard warriors, you
It's
know?
weird.
They feel like they can say anything, but it's also insane how they can feel like they can attack the family.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why?
It has nothing to do with
No.
it's nothing to do with nothing. It was odd. And also, keep in mind, we had only started seeing each other
You weren't even
3
together.
weeks. We weren't even officially together. We were just seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then we were thrust into all of these news articles.
Kept calling us Ryan and his friend. Aaron Brown and his friend, right?
And my parents were calling me going, "Who's Ryan?
Oh,
Who's your friend Ryan?"
And
So
a way to meet the family, I guess.
Yeah, that's a very original way to
And
meet.
Trauma bond.
I didn't want to say it, but
It was wild.
It was a bit of an interesting time,
Yeah.
definitely.
All I wanted from Uber at the time when we got kicked out, and I'm so grateful about Channel 9 originally in Daily Mail, because they used the photo of us in our outfits for Mardi Gras the night before, and those photos looked...
can we insert the photo?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can
link it.
Yeah,
You can actually.
Let's start the photo.
You can. It's funny now. All you need to do is Google
Gay men kicked out of Uber.
and ours is there.
First story that
That's what you're known for.
In a Ryan's in a
that's my legacy.
You're in a life-saving outfit.
Saving outfit, a crop top and some red
Yeah.
speedos.
But that's not what we were wearing.
That's not what we're wearing in the
Uber.
car.
Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of people thought we were wearing.
That-
Which
that
not
was
that
it.
that's a problem either.
So, yeah.
The comments were the glitter they'd be leaving in the back seat, and just was silly.
No, other people were like, I'd kick them
Also-
out too if they were fucking in my back seat.
Yeah,
Wait,
just-
what?
Also, why be driving on Mardi Gras? Like,
That was another
what
question.
did you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gays are thriving.
Take a day off if you
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, exactly. Like if you can't
with your
deal with
straight
it,
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The intention when I originally posted the video to my personal Facebook was just my friends and family to see, just a glimpse of discrimination we might see. And I wanted Uber to maybe issue us apology, because not through Facebook, I had emailed Uber separately just to be like, okay, we're investigating this. I'm sorry you experienced this. We didn't know it was going to blow up in the way that it did.
Yeah,
No.
which I think is in a way it's good, because I feel like a lot of people deal with that silently. But what did Uber say?
Uber issued an official apology.
They did.
We had a call actually from...
They refunded our trip.
yeah, we got a refund.
Well, Australian dollars fund.
Someone from the Uber head office actually called us to apologise personally, let us know they were investigating. They'd suspended the drivers.
They did suspend the driver.
Yeah.
As they should.
That's good.
After, because they didn't promote that. They ended up updating, which is the one thing I wanted, the terms and conditions about discrimination, and not allowing discrimination in Ubers, and they updated their policies not long after that. Whether that was directly from us or not, I'm not sure, but they did make a public point about Uber doesn't stand for this, etc. So I felt like that was the victory in all of that.
I just want to
situation.
say, I feel like in the end, I know the experience was bad, especially for you guys, but I feel like it had like not a positive outcome, but like you played,
have a positive
and
impact.
like you had a good impact on something for like other people
I
in
think
the
it
community.
did. We
yeah.
because we didn't really think about it all too much after it all happened. I mean, it was a bit weird, but a couple of months down the track and even a year down the track, we were getting random messages, people overseas, like in different countries, saying, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I've just read the article. It's really shocking. I hope you boys are okay. Thinking of you." And
That's nice,
it was so
though.
lovely.
Yeah, the counter side of the hate that we initially, because people
People
are
were
quick
so
to judge,
lovely.
but
Yeah.
love, I will stand by this. This is the hill I will die on. Is that love always conquers hate.
Always.
Yeah.
The love we received for much longer than we received the hate. I remember this Uber driver reached out to us after and said, "I'm so sorry and I'm so ashamed to work for a business." where
Wait,
this
they
happened to you."
actually.
Yeah, he said,
What, the Uber driver that did it?
different
Oh,
Uber driver,
okay.
different
Okay, I
Uber
thought it
driver.
was like
No,
the
no,
initial-
I was gonna
it an Uber
say.
driver, and he sent a photo of his car. He said, driving around at Mardi Gras in Sydney is my favourite time to drive in the year. I put up disco balls in the car and I play, gay bangers in the car.
Aw.
Like there was a lot of love that came.
Yeah.
He invited us and said, "You can come into my car anytime."
The
That's
trip's
sweet.
on
That's
me.
sweet.
Like there was a lot of positive things that came
Yeah,
out.
also, the biggest positive, though, was I think the following year, we went as each other to Halloween from that news article.
We dressed up as each other as the dailies. We had to. I got a big printout of the Daily Mail article, and we stood in the photo dressed as each other.
That
by
is
the way.
so
It
good.
was so fun. You had to like about it.
Yeah, I think that's
Find
I think
yourself.
that's like the most important thing when you go through these kind of things, like these kind of situations, is like not finding the fun in it, obviously, because it's like a very serious topic.
Yeah.
But eventually, you need to bring.
Yeah,
light to it.
that's life. You can't dwell in every bad thing that happens to you. You've got to find a silver lining in it. And
Yeah.
the silver lining was it brought Aaron and I really close together. It
You
probably
guys are
changed
married now.
Say it clearly worked.
Look at that.
It did.
Thanks, Uber driver.
We had so much support from our family
Yeah.
and friends. So many people were willing to throw fists for us and
Yeah.
championed, and it showed how much how much more love we have
Yeah.
rather than hate.
Yeah.
And that's what I take from that experience.
That's
Same.
You guys only knew each other for like what, 3 weeks before that?
yeah.
It like immediately is like putting you guys way closer than it should have been.
Yeah, right. It shows how you handle.
Yeah, no one really like, even like in a long-term relationship, you don't really directly go through something like that. There are situations you do, but like so early on in getting to know each other, it really puts you guys to a test.
Well, I think from that, I saw how Aaron would defend or stand up for me in a relationship, and we were only just very newly interacting, but how defensive he got over me and our experience, I thought, oh, this is actually a really good guy.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of qualities that probably would have taken me a lot longer to see had
Definitely.
this not have
Yeah.
happened. So that's what I definitely take that out of it, because I saw who you were at your core, and it probably established how we interact with each other moving forward. Like, what are our priorities? How are we going to keep each other safe? What do we need to know?
Yeah. Because I think we can openly say, honestly, when you and I met each other, we weren't looking for anything.
Yeah.
No, we were not.
We were not looking for
It's always like
something
that.
serious.
I need to stop looking. That's what I'll take from
We need to hinge.
So, universe, I'm not looking for anything.
What was that thing that you said before about a short-term relationship?
Oh, that like people on Hinge are looking for short-term relationships.
They've got it right.
Yeah, maybe they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should start using that.
The thing is, like, that story, like, when people say, like, even, like, my dad, like, he said to me before, like, why is pride needed? Like, it's not a thing anymore. And I'm like, the stories like that shows that it is still a thing. Like, there are people that think it's disgusting and wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the people that say, like, oh my God, like, pride is not needed, like, no one cares, like, you don't need to do these big events. I'm like, well, we do, because there are literally people getting kicked out of Ubers
Yeah.
for the sake of kissing a
Or
guy's
even worse,
forehead.
killed,
Will
abused.
die.
I mean,
Yeah.
if for stories like what your dad might say, if you've ever stopped holding hands with the person you're in love with walking down the street because you're nervous about your safety, or you feel more, you want to make someone else feel more comfortable than yourself, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times with Aaron where I have let go of his hand, or I haven't want to be seen standing too close to him, or I've wanted to taper my outfit because making someone else feel comfortable about my sexuality over how I actually feel. That's why pride is needed.
Yeah.
That's why we need to celebrate pride.
Exactly.
That's the most important
People
reason
miss the
behind it.
message.
Yeah, and a lot of the pride messages have been watered down a little bit because, a lot of them started as protests and now it's just a big gay camp celebration.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's still representing a community that needs
It does.
airtime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not trying to force anyone or indoctrinate anyone
No,
into
but like
it.
that's I think that's the thing with pride. A lot of people think it's like, oh, they're trying to push it onto us, and it's like, no, we're just simply celebrating our own.
We're having fun.
Yeah.
We're out there celebrating
But
us.
it is just fun. Like, I've brought some of my straight friends to Pride. I really want to bring my mum to Pride.
Me too.
Like, my mum-
you.
This year, your mums fly out.
We'll fly them over. We
Yeah.
are going to fly your mum out, and we want to fly my stepmom out.
Yeah, Lisa, her own stepmom, wants to go to Pride. Like,
Definitely.
Lisa, come on over. We'll accept
on,
you
Lisa.
with open arms.
But yeah, I do think like pride is still very important.
It's very needed.
Yeah.
And like when it's people say like you said, like people are trying to shove it in their faces. I never went to a Pride event and started scissoring a woman in the street.
But I think like that's the thing, isn't it? With straight people, they can kiss each other on the street, and like everyone just thinks it's normal. But then when it comes to like same sex couples, everyone's like, you're pushing it into our face. I'm like, why are you not saying that? Like straight couples.
Have you ever had people come to you on the street, like if you were to kiss someone?
A lot.
Has that happened?
With my ex, I think a lot of the time, I think this is a big difference between lesbians and gay men. I think lesbians are sexualized,
Yeah.
gay men get hate, and I think is a very big thing. And I remember with my ex-girlfriend, I was with her for like basically 3 years. We had like a break, and I think throughout that time, 70% of when we were out, we got some kind of harassment. And I'd always say to my family members, like, you say why pride like isn't needed, like I can give you 20,000 reasons like why it is. I remember we left, I think it was my birthday, it was in July, like Hyde Park's like the concerts they do, what is it called?
BTS?
BTS, that's
Yeah.
the one. And I left and there was all these guys and weren't even kissing, nothing. We were holding hands and they were like, oh my God, like, are you proud to be gay? Are you proud to be a lesbian? Like, but doing it in a way to like mug us off. And I was like, I mean, I'm not especially proud, just like I feel like you're not proud to be straight. But it is what I am. Like the whole like I'm so proud to be a lesbian, like I get the meaning behind it. I don't actively feel proud, it's who I am.
Yeah.
Like,
wanna live.
I'm happy
You just
who I
wanna
am.
be
It's
you.
living.
I also think when you just said about like why we need pride, one of the things that I draw it back to when people don't understand a lot is if you're in the workplace or you're with family and they're talking about travel and we're going to this place or we're going to this country or
You
we're
don't
going
have
here.
that luxury.
You don't have, as a queer person, you have to check, is this country
Safe.
safe to
Yeah.
travel to? So at work sometimes, we're going here or we're going here. Have you been there, Ryan? And I'll be like, oh no, I haven't been to, this country. Oh, why haven't you been? It's not gay friendly. It's
Yeah.
not safe for me to walk down the street holding my husband's hand. Booking a room with one bed for my husband and I
Yeah.
even is not safe in this country. So until everyone has to feel that same, and you don't want people to feel that, but until you feel that same sort of shame on yourself,
Yeah.
that's why pride is needed.
Yeah,
and
you don't
that's
consider it. Like
Yeah.
people don't think about
they
it.
absolutely do not think about it. But that's people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, like I don't like when people are quite. I guess it's arrogance, but it's not arrogance purposefully.
Ignorance.
Yeah, it's ignorance. It's you've
Yeah.
not experienced it. I'm sure there are things that I'm ignorant to because I've not
we all are.
experienced it.
Is, yeah.
Like there's a lot of things in the community that I need to be educated on because
Yeah.
I don't know people that experience that. So I think
Yeah.
it comes to the fact that you just need to be open to be
Yeah.
educated
Always. You
about
constantly
it.
learn. Most important thing, I believe.
I feel like I just don't go to countries anymore that aren't accepting. So like, I don't
don't
fund the
either.
economy. I'm like, you want me
Yeah.
dead? I'm not buying at your
But
shop.
also the thing is like you just don't want to be uncomfortable. We took a little break because the camera was overheating, but in the meantime we got
Sorry.
little Alfia, the first.
Child.
You forgot your microphone on.
Oh, I'm too distracted by the child.
So this is Alfie's first appearance on camera, or child.
Queen.
But yeah, what I was saying is when you're traveling, I think it's just like really important to go to countries where you don't have to think about like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, how am I gonna be perceived, you know, and you just want to feel safe.
What considerations do I need to have from traveling there?
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. But moving on to the last bit that I want to speak to, but I feel like I'm just like always touching you because you're so far away.
Hi.
I'm eye touching you right now.
You guys, how long have you two been married for?
Actually, our wedding anniversary is coming up.
It is. What date are we on now? 12?
11 days.
11 days.
3 years it will be.
Aww.
We've been together just over 6 years, and we've been married for just coming up to 3.
Who proposed?
Ooh.
I did.
How did you propose?
I proposed in March of 2020, so just over a year after we had met, actually.
Okay.
I booked Aaron a weekend down in just outside of Melbourne. We were staying in Daylesford,
Yeah.
in this beautiful area, and I had booked this.
I had no idea, by the way.
booked this
Did you
amazing
wait,
weekend
you
away.
really had no idea?
No idea.
Not at all. Not the slightest.
Not one inkling.
Wow.
And not even the business class suite that we were on.
Aaron,
I'm just so like oblivious to a lot of
Yeah.
things. I'm like, oh my God, this is so nice. Like, how luxurious is this? That was also my first time in business class. And I was a kid in a candy store.
I can imagine. Yeah, no,
The
literally,
room.
it's insane.
I had realized early on in our relationship that Aaron, everything would be too soon for Aaron. Like I think in his mind he had said, because he ended up moving in September of 2019, and we'd met on Valentine's Day that year. But his lease was up at his flat, and the housemates are moving or whatever, and he was going to have to sign another year. And I had said, well, we'll just move into
That's
my
how it
flat
usually
because
happens.
why would you re-sign another year? And he's like, oh, isn't it too soon? And I was like, well, if you move in and it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But like, why would you sign another year?
That's what we said in the last episode. We were like, with the whole U-Haul thing,
Mm-hmm.
we're like, why don't you just jump in? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
You'd rather know earlier than later, right?
Yeah, because some people are together for like years, then move in, and they're like, oh, we can't live together. Like,
Right.
this doesn't work.
It's exactly right.
Maybe this is just like a gay mindset.
Yeah, I
I think it's important. Like, yeah. So you moved in, and anyway, March 2020, we had this weekend booked, and COVID was now encroaching everywhere at the time. Not to talk about COVID, but I was like, I've put so much into this weekend. I've already sat down with his mum and stepdad and asked for their blessing.
Yeah.
I've sat down with his dad and stepmum and asked for their blessing. I've told my mum. So if this weekend I've been planning, I was like, oh God, oh God. Anyway, we got down to Melbourne. We stayed at this beautiful property. We went to this restaurant called Salt in Daylesford, and there's a lavender field outside, and there's a little chapel at the end of the lavender field. So I set up a tripod, and because Aaron knows I'm a bit of a grandma and love lavender.
Still no signs.
And I record a lot of stuff for memories. I'm that like aunt you had when you were 5 years old with a camera at the party. Like, I take so many photos. Anyway, I said, I want to take a video of us holding hands walking through the lavender field. So I set up the tripod and we walked through the lavender field holding hands. And then we got to the chapel at the end. I had this whole speech I wanted to say in my head, but I went blank. Anyway, I got down on my knee.
So you don't remember what you said, do you?
No, not really.
I don't either.
I got down on one knee and proposed at this little chapel at the end of this lavender field and proposed on the 20th of March, 2020. We flew home 3 days later and went into national lockdown the next day.
You did.
So newly engaged and stuck inside together.
Wow.
That's a melting pot.
Yeah, literally. How quickly did you get married after getting engaged?
We were engaged for 2 years.
Because of COVID,
Yeah.
it was a long engagement, which was good, I think, because we had a real pressure cooker of a life because you had just lost your job when COVID started.
Yes.
So,
I got made redundant.
yeah.
And then, So, I mean, we wanted to give ourselves some time to plan. We didn't want to.
Yeah.
We didn't want any restrictions on the wedding as
No.
well, so we had a long engagement.
We did.
But I think that time inside really helped us in how we communicate with each other and sort of set the foundations of what our relationship is now.
Definitely.
We have a good system in place.
You guys do have, so we want to talk about that because
What? You want to
Yeah.
talk about us?
the other night when you guys were over, I feel like I'm sitting here like an evil lady, like with my cat, but it's the hamster.
They can't sound a
instead.
hamster, so it just looks like you're stroking the left
And I was gonna see what I was doing, and I was like, "There's so like shit. There's a hamster there. I'm not just like stroking my vagina."
And stroking
Tune in
LP.
later for the X edit.
But when you guys were over during dinner, afterwards, me and Alana were like, "Gosh, they have like such good like communication in their marriage." The whole
you.
"I'm on you, I'm on you, I'm off you" thing, because I think like that's so important. So
Share that
How
wisdom.
how did you come up with the whole thing of I'm on you, I'm off you thing?
I'll start, then you
Sure. No, don't.
take it home.
I'm taking the lead.
Brene Brown has this whole thing where I heard in a talk one time where her and her husband say, like, I can give 20% today, I can give 80% today, and they can say what they're willing to put into the relationship, because you're not able to give your best every day constantly. Like, that's just not realistic.
No, that's exhausting.
And we don't do that 20%, 80%.
No.
But we know we can sense each other's moods, and we have a understanding that if I'm annoyed about something or if I'm in my feels about something, I will tell Aaron I'm off you. Like, I'm off you, I need a minute.
Yeah.
And then if the same way back, if I'm irritating Aaron or Aaron's got a lot going on and he's not feeling like he can invest a lot of time, he will tell me I'm off you as well.
Yeah.
But at the same token, if we have been doing the right things by each other or even just cute little gestures, we'll be like, I'm so on you right now, or I'm really on you. And that's the language that we operate in.
We discovered that after a little while. Like, it didn't happen straight away.
No.
And we're not talking here like we're the perfect couple. Like, everything's fine.
No,
It's-
obviously, like every couple is dealing with certain things. Yeah, but I think
that's our little like language that we have for each other, just to let us know, how are you feeling today? Like, I don't know, do I need to pick up some of the slack, or do I need to leave you alone? And I mean, that's very hard in a 1-bedroom flat. Where do I go?
But also, when someone tells you they're off you, you think, well, what have I done to potentially contribute to this? And then what can I do to make it better? It's not said with any ill intent. So if I was to say to Aaron, I'm off you, he might go into a mode where I'm going to cook a really nice dinner, I'm going to make him a drink, or I'm going to rub his shoulders, or I'm going to give him some PlayStation time, or like, you just want to be back on a good term. I don't know.
You want to be back on each other.
We're people. You're allowed to have like on and off feelings.
Yeah. But we both want to be at the resolute where we're both on each other.
Yeah.
So we try and correct ourselves or our behavior and hold ourselves accountable for how can I contribute to him being on me.
Yeah.
But I think it's like such a beautiful, genuine, soft way of communicating that, instead of like pointing fingers, you know, where you're like, oh, I'm not feeling well because you did that, or like whatever. I think it's such like a healthy way of communicating, where it's just like, give me my space. If you're in a long-term relationship, it's normal to get annoyed by each other. You know, it's like normal, especially like living in a small space.
Yeah.
That's a lot on like a couple.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a lot
It's
of things.
completely fine to be as well.
Yeah,
as long as you can
exactly.
respect the boundaries and understand. We may not even go into why.
Yeah, that's people get so caught up on the circumstances of an incident, and then it's who remembers it more clearly.
Yeah.
And then you're not even talking about what the actual issue is. You're talking about, no, you said this at this exact time at this moment. And then the whole reason that you're fighting is now about who remembers the incident better, rather than actually it's just the feeling I have. I'm a bit off you. And it doesn't really matter, unless it was a big thing.
Sure.
But most times it's inconsequential things that we just get irritated over. So you don't need to go into it to that extent because it's going to pass.
Yeah.
And also, Ryan is going to remember absolutely everything because his memory is way better than
Ryan is always right.
No, I'm not very much not always right. But I No, but that's why we say on and off, because it doesn't really matter about what happened or what caused it.
Yeah,
It's just like,
It's how you're feeling.
how you're feeling. And the feeling is the most important thing you want to correct,
Yeah.
not the circumstance.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, after this conversation, I want to move into a little spicy conversation.
Oh.
Oh.
We have like a little game we play with our guests.
Okay.
And it's called Bothered or Unbothered, very on brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to give you like a few scenarios.
Yeah.
It's like around sex.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm in. I feel like Ryan and I have been very PG.
Yeah, I
And
know. This
that's
is the
that's not really us at all. We're
Exactly. So we're going to ask a couple of
I
questions.
love this. Let's go.
And then you just say whether you're bothered or unbothered.
Okay.
Do you want to kick off with the first one?
Yes, because this is our most famous question.
Ooh.
Socks on or off during sex? Bothered or unbothered?
Off.
Bothered. Off.
Bothered.
High five.
Bothered.
Yes.
Unbothered.
Why? Like,
Thank you. No.
why do you need to wear socks?
You have so often had socks on when we've hooked up.
When?
Oh my God. You know, next time I'm going to get a
Coming up.
photo of his I'm going to say, stop. Slow things down a second. I need to
Let
get
me
a
get
photo
a
of your
pic
socks.
while on. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's really hot during.
But your socks, you never think about your socks during. Now that you're thinking about it, you're like,
thinking about it.
you're unbothered by it because you're the culprit for keeping socks on.
Wait, no, let me say, it can be a different thing of like keeping them on yourselves or your partner, or like, not partner, but like whoever you're hooking up
I'm
with.
unbothered because it's him usually with the socks on, not me.
You know what?
And he said bothered, but he has his
But
socks.
thinking, well, yeah, maybe
That makes
maybe I
sense.
just am blissfully unaware that I have them on. But
You're
if I am,
terrified.
yeah, but if I'm aware that they're on, maybe I might be bothered.
I say, I
don't know.
say bothered. Sex.
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
still going with bothered.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my unbothered.
Unbothered.
Socks till I die.
Okay. Well, on to the next question.
Yeah, shoot.
I actually don't know your horoscope sign.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is going to be like a
You
personal
should know mine
sign.
because my birthday just happened. I was here
No, I'm bad with
a few days after my birthday. I'm an
Aries.
Aries.
Aries. Okay. Okay. You're good. You're good. I think.
Is that it? He's just good.
Yeah. What was
I
your
think so.
question?
Well, thoughts. Well, no, bothered or unbothered people who are Geminis.
I don't know enough about horoscopes to be bothered. So I'm gonna say
Unbothered, but it's the
unbothered.
most problematic horoscope.
Yeah. Wait, what's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh,
One of the most
Fire
compatible
sign.
star signs is
True.
Aries and Sagittarius.
that is.
Apparently.
Look at that. Have you checked the pattern?
No, we
Today we're
haven't.
doing that.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
You
tonight.
should.
Let's check the shit.
Let's do this. Let's make it official, the pattern.
Okay, unbothered.
Unbothered, but I've known some problematic Geminis.
Yeah.
You're on a one night stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They want to use like loads of different sex toys on a one night stand. You've just met them.
Bothered.
You're bothered.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No,
No.
Is there no
way.
like limit to like the type of sex toy?
or just nothing.
Oh, that's
You need to know someone pretty well to take your relationship to a level in which you're.
It's a step.
Yeah, I think.
I know. I'm just looking like.
I will never want to kink shame
No,
someone.
I'm not going to yuck someone else's yum.
not kink.
I love that.
If you have a conversation about it, sure. But if you go home with someone on a one-night stand and they're pulling out a drawer of different things that you didn't know was in the repertoire, that's giving bothered. Because, like, I want to know what I'm getting into rather than being surprised. Because when you're on the spot, sometimes you say yes to things you wouldn't usually say yes to.
I would say unbothered because I have used sex toys on a
Yeah.
one night stand before. I think it would just go into the depth of what kind of sex toys, like how much
Yeah.
you're using. And I want to be comfortable with the person that I'm hooking up with.
Depends on the person.
Correct.
The situation.
Yeah. And like Ryan said, I'm not going to yuck someone's yum.
Yuck someone's
Touche.
yum. I actually
I'm gonna
like
put that on a
saying.
t-shirt.
No,
Don't yuck my yum.
Don't yuck my yum.
Don't yuck my fucking yum.
Giving unbothered merch coming very soon.
And Elfie's face is gonna be on it.
I hope
Yuck my yum.
I think that's it.
That's it. I mean, we've been filming for about 4 hours at this point.
What a way to end on sex
We,
toys.
we have one last thing that we want to do with you, girl.
Oh, yeah. Where's the phone? Oh, hold on.
It's just
Oh,
here.
it's here.
Yeah,
Ryan,
earlier.
Ryan and I.
Whiskey.
That's
Suck
okay.
it up.
Ryan and I like to.
okay.
See, that's exactly how we met. They made us do shots that I didn't like.
Sambuca.
Continue.
Ryan and I love to do a cheers before we go out anyway, if we're going for a night out or going to a dinner or a celebration.
Yeah,
of
we're
some
going out after
Yeah,
this.
and we are going for a boogie.
sort. So it checks. Ryan, do the cheers.
Okay. So this is just a cheers we do at, like, for at dinners or special events or momentous occasions. We cheers. And so we're
Or at
gonna
our
take a
wedding.
little swig.
Okay.
That
Okay.
smells so strong. I can already
It's
smell it.
sweet.
Smell it?
It's sweet.
You're lucky
Oh, it
you're lucky
smells
the shop was sold out and we only could only get one because we'd all be doing a full
Also,
one.
Fireball, sponsor us.
Yeah. Hashtag with you.
Okay, we say, to those we're with, those we're not, those we love, and those we've lost. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers. I can take the tiniest sip, right? Like just like a little taster.
It burns.
I hate the
Tastes
burn.
like, even burns like hell.
It
That's
actually
their
no,
slogan.
actually it tastes like Santa Claus.
You've tasted Santa Claus before?
It does. It tastes like Christmas.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
No,
us.
thank you for
we
coming
love
on.
On the couch. We love being on the
Having
couch.
you guys on.
This was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Normally I would have you guys in my bedroom in the bed, but
Wow. That's
we
a
needed
different sort of podcast.
space.
yeah, it was getting too cramped. Also, I just want to say to the listeners, we are kind of tipsy. But
Oh yeah, no, we're drunk.
Just a smidge. Just a
Just a
little
tiny
bit.
bit. Out
Okay,
of the
we've
amount.
had 3 bottles between 4 people.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, but
And we're not finished. Lars has got full glass.
Lars has been drinking slow.
I've been mothering.
And I've been snacking in between.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot to drink, so this is getting very chaotic. But
Thanks for watching.
thanks for watching. Thank you, Aaron and Ryan.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being on. We love that.
We love it.
Anytime, we'll be back.
Yeah, and we can't
Exactly.
wait to go for a dance after this.
Exactly. We're going for a little boogie now.
Can't wait.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy watching, don't forget to rate our show and subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this show. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Just remember, it's giving
Unbothered.
unbothered.